Welcome to the first session in Augment and Disrupt, the EMAP 2019 conference. And we're going to start with an introduction of all the EMAP members. We all know each other, that is the members. We've been running this program for a year now. But all the artists here are new. We've got some associate members present here and some accredited guests. So for them it's, I think, very interesting to know the organizations behind EMAP. We'll start with a short introduction by Peter Zorn. He will introduce the EMAP in general, the network, and then each member will give a short presentation on what his or her organization is about. So Peter, please go ahead. Oh, you can use it from behind. And you can either choose a PC or a Mac, both is possible. Also for the other presenters, all presentations are on Mac and on PC, and the technicians will know what you're going to choose and take care it's on the screen. And I asked all of you to make a presentation, and I'm embarrassed to say that the only one that didn't do that is me.
Right, this is a very quick presentation, as I have to be standing here twice. I try to do it quickly because this is now about the EMAP structure, the network of EMAP, which is a bit confusing because it's a platform that derives from the EU, that they have this European Platforms Program, and we applied for that 1.5 years, and happy to get it. So all of these organizations will be introduced in a minute. I don't need to talk about that, but I just wanted to mention that EMAP is built on the legacy of the European Media Artists in Residence Exchange, and this is what we are doing for a long time, since '95. It started with Haltheim Arts, which doesn't exist anymore in England, and the intermedia department in Budapest, and then it changed partners for many times, and in the 2007-8 it was transformed into the European Media Art Network, and as I said, now since 1 year we are calling ourselves the European Media Art Platform. But basically what we're doing, or first of all, that was the concept why to create such a network is because of kind of intercultural exchange, as we are interested in having artists from all around the world, but we kind of had to focus on Europe, and also to collaborate and work with other organizations from the similar sector. So there are a lot of different benefits coming out of that, and of course one of the big benefits is that we all together can apply at Creative Europe. So this platform will run until 21. We started last year, as we said. We had already finished first year's production very successfully. We had little group shows where works had been shown. This is going to continue, and you as new artists entering now the platform also will have the chance to get selected at one of our members' festivals. Here you have the whole list. We will have 5 little group shows. That means they will show or include maybe 4, 5, maximum 6 artists from the platform. So we have 5 shows this year. I think first will be the Biennale. In May, we will have Ricksee's festival, I think June or July. We'll have Ars Electronica again. We have a FACT exhibition in Liverpool, also by end of September, and another one coming up in Helsinki by November. About the structure, briefly, we meet usually a minimum of 2 times a year. This is like the second time. The first is at the jury meeting conference. So we did the selection in Gijon this year, where we select 11 projects. Each of one is hosting one artist or one artist group to produce a new project. And as you already might know, we are all doing the common Europe-wide call. Then the second meeting is where you are right now, the idea of the networking conference, which Arion brought up once. And the reason why we are here together is also that you kind of gather an understanding that you're part of a bigger entity, the platform, that also the other members get to know the different projects which are produced at one of our centers. That's also very helpful because of the group shows later on, but also we hope that some other kind of contacts and collaborations could come out of that as well. Yeah, for us the knowledge transfer is really important. Each of the centers have, I have 1 minute, I have to speed. Okay, let's talk about the conditions. Okay, yes, you know, it's a residency of 2 months. You receive a grant of 3,000 euros. You can ask for travel expenses up to 500 euros, and there is a project production budget up to 4,000 euros for each project. These are kind of the minimum guarantees each organization has to give to you, but that doesn't include the technical facilities of the host. So whatever your host has should be free access for you, as well as free accommodation during the time of the residency, and some kind of consultants or assistance or tutorial help by experts. Also, it's meant that your work should be presented, and during the residency you might do it can be a workshop, an artist talk, or whatever, or your work is finished and you already can do an exhibition with it. And as I said, there are the group shows coming up until 2020, 5 this year, 5 next year, and there will be a big show in 21 in our place in Halle, where we gather all 44 productions together. And I think that's basically it. Yeah.
And to not lose more of our time, I think we'll skip the IMPAKT presentation. You'll be here for 3 days, so you'll get to see our building and you get to know our people. So we jump IMPAKT. Or I could do it, but we'll run into a delay. So, but a little explanation, because welcome. I asked every member to prepare a presentation focusing on a few key characteristics of his organization or her organization, the organization structure, the venue that you're in, the mission that your organization has, some kind of the priorities in art forms that you have, like a focus on film and video, or on sound art, or on bio art or robotics, and what kind of formats you're using. Like IMPAKT started as a festival, but now is a center and has a festival. So maybe I invite all the members to talk also a little bit about that. So I think then, skipping IMPAKT, the first presenting organization is Ars Electronica, and please welcome Veronika Lieben.
Yeah, that's mine. Perfect. So, hello again from my side. Good morning again. My name is Veronika Lieben, and I'm co-director of the Ars Electronica Festival in Linz. I'm mainly responsible for our European collaborations. That's also the reason why I'm here with the EMAP group. Ars Electronica in general is an educational research and culture organization in Linz along this Danube, beautiful river next to our building and venue. And we are working since 40 years now on the intersection of art, science, technology, and society. We always look at the interrelationships of these disciplines and never on the disciplines alone. And of course, we are working heavily with international media artists and digital artists coming from all over the world and also from Linz. Basically, the venue you saw is our museum. So that's more the educational setting of Ars Electronica. That's the place where we do educational programs, we do school programs. We really try to engage the younger audiences, kids and youngsters, but also all the generations in a discourse on the new technologies and what they actually mean for us and our future, how they will impact us and how we want to shape them. The Prix Ars Electronica is our cyber arts competition. It's an award annually held, and it is currently issued in the categories of computer animation, digital communities, digital music and sound art, and the latest category is artificial intelligence and life art. The festival is probably the most famous one, and it is our annual setting for discourse, for experimentation. We invite about 1,200 artists and scientists to be present in Linz and exchange with us on specific topics. And we really try to always bring in also the regional audience to discuss with us on specific topics. The Future Lab is our research and development lab, and it mostly works with industries, but also research organizations on future concepts. And we also have a business unit mainly developing interaction designs and interfaces. Export is one unit which is actually trying to bring everything we discuss in Linz within the festival then also to international regions, and a specific focus also within the museum, but within also schools and non-formal learning activities is our Uniting Greater World program. Yeah, exactly. What our mission is basically really to engage audiences in active dialogue on issues of technologies and their impact. And what we do in Linz is also something what we want to do internationally, and that's just two examples of current exhibitions we are doing internationally. They both run I think until today or even next week. And one of them is currently staged in Berlin. It's a show also comprised of the festival from last year called Error, The Art of Imperfection. And the other one is a presentation on the topic of future humanity, currently showed in Beijing, Moscow, and Seoul. I was also asked to talk about the priorities of Ars Electronica. Basically, we're 200 people, so probably you would hear 200 different answers there. But one priority for me in particular is our art and science programs, in particular for artistic production and also scientific encounters between artists and scientists. And we do this very much in the framework of our residency programs. And that's just some cases, and we are quite happy to work with Quimera Rosa then in the next month. Thanks.
Okay, I think Bandimage is next, and Olivia, if you would please come forward. As you might have noticed, Lara is sitting on the front row, giving you signs when you would need to round up. I think we shouldn't forget, I mean, there's plenty of time to get to know each other better. I know it's it's a lot to ask to present your organizations in just 5 minutes, but there's a lot of other stuff on the program today.
So, hi, I'm Olivia Earle, producer at Bandimage. So, since 1991, Bandimage, located in Bourges, focuses on the dissemination and research in the fields of moving video and media art. We focus on multiple tasks such as artistic production, dissemination of works, and raise of awareness. So the image below you can see is a workshop with Quimera Rosa that was mentioned before. So our main venue is called the Hajduk. So it has different tasks in order to accompany artists, scientists, researchers, biohackers, art students, etc. Every year we have a venue we used to work with called the Château d'Eau, which is a contemporary art venue and welcomes our festival, the Rencontre Bandimage. Other venues we work with are local cinema, the art school, and EMAP, which is a local art and culture venue. So that's for the venues. So Bandimage really, creates a space of aesthetic freedom for artists, a space for research. We offer a scalable high performance multimedia studio. So I mentioned the Hajduk before. So the Hajduk is a place of production and exhibition. And we also offer a residence venue in the city centre. So Bandimage presents audiovisual and multimedia art throughout the year through screening, lectures, discussions, such as platforms for developing issues such as art and ecology, identities, queer issues, art and science, so on. And Bandimage also organizes public workshops and visual art trainings. Bandimage is also a resource center. So since '92, we've had many videos that have been produced. So we've got over 3,000 videos. So there's a lot of history of video and visual art at Bandimage. Next, so our main priorities focus on film and video, so the production and dissemination of moving images, video projects, etc. One of our main goals also is bioart. So we're developing at the moment a biolab, so it's temporary for the moment, but it's a project that's going to be called UrsaLab, and so that's going to take a few years to develop, but it's one of our main goals. We are also very interested in media art performances. So every year we have masterclasses in VJing and sound, for example. And sound art installation is very important to us too. So we develop exhibitions around sound art. And next, so really the main event of Bandimage every year is the Rencontre Bandimage. So this festival exists since '92, and this event addresses issues such as production as a process, and basically we work with artists and share moments of workshops, lectures, performances, meetings, conferences and exhibitions. And then you have our contact at the end, and we're very happy to have Tiziano and Daniela. Sorry, I don't want to say the names wrong. Anyway, that's it for Bandimage.
Super, thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, please, warm applause. Isabel, your colleague, couldn't make it, but Bandimage, as we know them, mainly is you and Isabel, at least here at the meetings. And how long have you been working, Olivia, for?
I've been working for 3 years.
Okay, super. So the next guest is Leslie Taker of FACT Liverpool. She's not alone, as you might be able to see. But still, even more we appreciate you being here. And
this is my last week I'm allowed to travel.
Okay. And FACT Liverpool, the director used to be Mike Stubbs, and Mike Stubbs is one of the first artist ever in the EMAP network, the predecessor of EMAP. He recently left FACT Liverpool, and we're very happy to have Leslie Taker.
Hi. So as Ion said, I'm from FACT Liverpool, and I have a lot of slides, but they're mostly images. So I will give you just the headlines of FACT. This is me. I'm the exhibitions manager there. I also am a curator, producer, writer, and I work a lot on the major exhibitions, but also the public program, so all of our events, and I work across residencies and collaboration projects and the touring program as well. So our venue, which I'll show you in a moment, has 2 gallery spaces. It also has a foyer-based learning space that we open up to an educational program that is for children, for students, all the way up to like intergenerational learning. We work a lot with over 60s as well, which is very unusual for a tech organization. This is the building itself. We're located in the heart of Liverpool. It was a purpose-built building. We are just over 15 years old now, starting to feel it, as you do with purpose-built buildings. Our mission. So this is just the headlines. Obviously, it breaks down a lot more, but we are about the commissioning, presentation, production, and dissemination of excellent art, internationally, nationally, and locally. We work collaboratively, we take risks, we experiment, and we work with underrepresented or emergent talent and voices. So we also engage with tech, not just for the novelty of the tech, but critically. So very similarly as to Ariane was saying about this conference, it's looking at like the political and social impact of technology from an artistic point of view. So just some of our images of recent shows, just to give you an idea of the space a little bit. So it's a very adaptable space. Our priorities are, very roughly, but it changes a lot, screen-based media, visual art experiences, interactive installations, and film and video. We very often try and push visual art experiences so they are feeling like an environment. So that as an exhibition maker particularly, we concentrate on making really receptive, generous environments for the visitor. And just some of the shows that we've had recently. This is a show by Wusang that we have with a custom-built installation, new commission, work by Marshall Aliari. Had a whole lab and learning program alongside it, and a big new commission by Ricksee Kurakawa that we had take over Gallery 1 a couple of years ago. Our format, we do events, exhibitions, a learning program, and we also have extensive research outputs. These are both formal and informal. So our events range from weekly film programs, talks, screenings, to huge events that will take over a building in somewhere else in the city, in maybe like an area that doesn't engage culturally a lot, and we give them an interactive art installation, all the way through to, you know, just our weekly program. We also host seminars, symposia, conferences, talks. We do publications. And as I mentioned, we have that extensive learning program. Our exhibitions are focused mostly in-house, but we do a lot of co-production and a lot of touring exhibitions. So you'll probably see our shows all around the world. And some exhibitions that we've done recently, this is one with CERN, and this is a learning group, me talking to them. And then we also did a huge series of conference with CERN as well, and with a local university. So just to kind of capture some of the stuff that we do in the building, but we do lots of stuff outside the building as well. And that's me.
Thanks a lot. I don't know if there's questions from the audience. It's always possible. And before we move, maybe already we can have the next speaker container on stage, Olga. And Leslie, one thing I wonder is, how does Liverpool as an art city relate to other cities? I mean, I very much have the idea that there's not so much happening in realm of new media in London, but a lot outside of London, the A&D Festival, Liverpool. Could you tell just briefly how you see yourself running a facility outside of London?
I mean, being decentralized is very useful for us for a number of reasons, like costs, one, also a differently engaged audience. We can take more risks. We don't have to have, you know, the same vibe, the same scene over and over again. So we also get a lot of non-arts audience, which I think has been really beneficial to kind of grow the program and the way we talk about things. It also means that we collaborate very closely with those local partners. So we collaborate closely with the cities around us. And actually FACT has borne a lot of those programs. So And Festival, the director there, used to be a curator at FACT. BOM in Birmingham, they have a really beautiful lab space. She used to be a curator at FACT, the director there. So it's actually borne quite a lot of those tech spaces you talk about, originated in some way from FACT or FACT's core team. So it's been, yeah, I think a lot of people who work there would never go to the London scene because of actually the freedom and mainly that engagement with non-arts audiences being so much easier.
Super, thanks. Whoever has a question, please let us know, and we'd be happy to give you the microphone. But we go on now to Olga and Josipa of Container in Zagreb, presenting their organization.
So we are from Container. We are a non-profit organization founded very long time ago, 2002. So we are very old. We are engaged in curatorial work, and we are organizing festivals, exhibitions, and other public events. And we are also lately involved very much in education and social theory. Our main field of interest is progressive contemporary art that investigates the role and meaning of science, technology, and the body in our society, and it's focusing on relevant and current phenomena. Sorry. Can you hear me? Yes. And what you see on the pictures are our publications that we are very proud of doing for each exhibition and festivals that we are doing.
Yes, and if I could just say that we have three triennial festivals: Device Art, Touch Me, and Extravagant Bodies. And besides that, for the last 15 years, we have been doing sound art program for Gallery Močvara in Zagreb. And you can go further, sorry.
So these are, this is done according to Arion's specifications. So we are talking about the venues now. We are basically part of this umbrella organization that is uniting all cultural scene in Zagreb, and that organization is called Pogon, and it's some kind of a hybrid between an institution founded by the city and by NGO scene. And we are sharing our space. It's on the banks of Sava River. It's 2 halls. One is bigger, 450 meters, and the other one is smaller, 80 square meters. And it's an ex-factory space that was used before for making all the machinery for other factories, but it's of course failed, as all the factories that existed before.
In Croatia.
But we are also using contemporary art spaces in Zagreb very much, and we are very involved in the scene. So the last exhibition, as you can see here, that's a Museum of Contemporary Art. We did on 1,500 square meters space in their space. So our mission is establishing internationally relevant center for contemporary art that is specialized in these border areas of art, technology, science, and body art. And we want to contribute to establishment of an open society and develop this cooperation with experts outside of the cultural community.
And or you could go back.
Yes.
This was the space from Gallery Klovićevi Dvori where we worked for a couple of years, and this was actually the work from Evelina Dominique and Dmitri Gelfo, as we are in Netherlands, so maybe we should say that.
So our priorities are closely connected to our formats. And our formats are, as Josip already mentioned, is based on a festival, but we have a little bit more complex situation there because we are doing 3 festivals, and all 3 festivals are triennials. So each year we have a different focus. These festivals are Touch Me, that is dedicated to art and science, Device Art, that just happened, and that is dedicated to art dealing with machines and devices, and Extravagant Bodies dedicated towards questioning the politics of the norm and normality in the relation to human bodies. So we have different focus, so I can go back to this slide priorities, where we were supposed to choose 4 of the categories. So we did that, but they're changing each year.
Annually. Yeah, they're changing annually because
So
all
interactive
of the festivals
installation,
have different formats.
robotics, augmented reality, bioart, but there is also sound art because we have this sound art program during the year happening, and all together we can call that investigating artistic practices.
Yeah.
Sure.
Just a second.
Just a very
Because
quick.
we are totally crazy.
No, so
No,
just
we have-
just to all of you, a quick question: why did you decide to make 3 different festivals instead doing everything under one umbrella and agenda, one
That's
title?
not possible, actually.
Every festival has a different focus, and it was not possible to put it in the same festival. So device art is a comparative exhibition and festival where we usually try to get as much as possible of art and technology engagement from the artists on the local scene and then compare it to some other scene from one other country. So this is the form of that. Then for Touch Me, it's oriented to art and science. It's an international festival with a conference with international selection of works, and then Extravagant Bodies, completely different topic, oriented to performing arts, live art, and body art.
Yeah.
A lot. So because of this diverse interests that we had, and we started basically doing programs on monthly basis, but then we decided to change it into a festival so we can get a little bit more context and explore some topic a little bit stronger. So that's why we decided to do that. Are there any more questions?
No, I think maybe you move on to your last slides.
Last slide. That's it. Okay. There we go, Ryan.
Thanks. The next organization presenting is as you can see, Minna Tarka from Encode, Helsinki. Our previous conference, because this is the second EMAP conference, was in Helsinki, in a sauna, which was a lot of fun and very nice. So, Minna, please introduce Encode to us.
Hi, thanks, Arjan. So EMCOLT is one of the small organizations, partners of EMAP, and I'm one of the co-founders, and I've been the director for later years now. And the Finnish scene is such that all of the organizations are really small. So none of us actually has a bigger venue or space like many of the partners, but instead we work through a network, so we collaborate a lot, and that's been really important for us at EMCOLT. So instead of a space that we should maintain, which takes its toll as well, so we work in public spaces accessible to all, and there are many meanings. It's not just because we don't have a space. I mean, it's really a really fruitful environment and context to work in. And why we have wanted to do that is because we want to find new audiences, and we are not such fans of the gallery cubes, etc., and the traditional art world environments. So we have had really many types of context, like also like moving vehicles, like ferries and trains. And over the years, we've been really like working closely with the Finnish library institution, or the city library in Helsinki, and that's a wonderful space for encountering citizens, and the libraries are changing from book loaning institutions to places where you have fab labs and citizens can really work and create and publish their own stuff. So the pictures here. What? I went through 2 slides and they're not there. Head on.
I'm sure they can fix.
Right. So I went through the first one, and I was just pointing out to the photos that are from Audi, the new central library in Helsinki, and that's going to be the venue for our group show this year. And they are welcoming media art as a special thing. They have loads of screen, like kilometers of screen spaces, but they don't really have the content. So that's going to be a fantastic opportunity for our artists to encounter like 50,000 people every week. So our mission is kind of basic stuff, but we have some differences also compared to other partners. So we have like 2 legs. One is media art, and then one is a strong investment in social practice. So we also have like locally and internationally, we have different networks on those themes, and they are partially overlapping. One spot of overlap is in Liverpool, because we have worked with Tate Liverpool, with FACT for a long, long time, and then there's also Heart of Glass and other organizations that are into that. And yeah, well, this is, you can read it. I'm not going to read it aloud. Our priorities are in supporting critical agencies in art. So mainly it's about like really enabling the creation of new work by artists. That's why we've been working a lot with different co-productions, international and local co-productions, with residencies and commissions. And then each time we find the best context for that. It's really context dependent. And about the genres that were presented, we could only check like net art and internet based. The others are it's so variable, the scene, that we really select the genre, or the artist selects the genre. But the social and collaborative practice is always there as a focus. And in the context of EMAP residencies, now for 4 years, we are focusing on a theme that we are going to launch next week. It's online imaginaries, where we look for and want to support artistic agencies on the internet. We feel that people, artists, citizens alike have kind of deserted the online worlds, and we desperately need them back. So we want to target that theme with the EMAP, wonderful EMAP residencies. And last year we worked with Chloe Calibert-Lenné and Kevin B. Lee, whose Bottled Songs project is pictured above. And this year we work with Disnovation.org and are looking forward to help them finish their web politics trilogy, a really ambitious project, and then show these projects in the library. So the formats, to conclude, are residencies and commissions, exhibitions and mini-festivals. I will talk about a mini-festival we've been running in the afternoon. And then most of the practice is based on different types of collaborative workshops, and also like experimental seminar formats where we bring together really different like groups to discuss social and political and cultural issues. Thank you.
Thanks, Minna. And as Minna already pointed out, some of the member organizations are also presenting in the panels on specific subjects, like Leslie and Minna and others. Our next EMAP member is Onassis Stegi, or as I understand it, just Onassis, or just Stegi now. Well, you can explain. Herakles Papatheodorou.
So I'm Herakles. I am a digital development coordinator in Onassis Stegi in Athens. I'm responsible for co-curating and producing a series of conferences, workshops, talks, and hackathons about digital culture and society and technology. So the Onassis Stegi is the cultural center of the Onassis Foundation in Athens. We are part of the Onassis Foundation family, which focuses on 3 pillars of culture, health, and education, and we host a pretty varied group of arts, from theater and dance to music, visual arts, and also host a lot of educational activities. We focus on showcasing contemporary cultural expression. We support Greek artists, both in Greece and to travel abroad, but also cultivate international collaborations, trying to be international speakers and artists, and always try to explore the boundaries between science and society. Our mission is to create the conditions, explore the ideas, and trigger discussions that shake society. And we try to do this with various formats in the context of EMAP. We are mostly focused on interactive installations, media-based performances, virtual reality, and augmented reality. And in that sense, we were very glad to have been working with Kentaro Kumalomido and Thomas Anthony Owen for the last EMAP cycle, and their Faster Than Light performance, where they explore the invisible networks of communities in Athens, specifically queer communities in Athens, and delivered a hybrid performance and cinematic experience. Our other formats are, of course, exhibitions. For example, the Tomorrow's exhibition, which tries to shed light on different and possible realities of the future by the works of artists, theoreticians, and designers. If you are in France in April, it's going to be presented in Lieu Unique in Nantes. But you can also find all the works and related essays on the exhibition website. And our other main format of innovation events are the hackathons. They're not particularly business-like hackathons. It's about creative thinking, creating design solutions for real-world problems, whether that is reimagining the book, for example, or reimagining the what sustainable solutions could be developed for the refugee crisis. But we also host smaller tech-oriented hackathons, such as working with obsolete and zombie analog technologies, or reimagining what instruments are like. And thank you. I think that was it.
Thanks a lot. I think it was even under 5 minutes. So the next on the list is Ricksee from Riga. We have Dinah presenting Ricksee. Actually, I just realized I think that Container in Zagreb is the only member that I haven't visited yet. I was in Ricksee past summer and enjoyed the Ricksee exhibition there. Dinah, please go ahead.
So, should I go manually? Sorry? Do I go manually? Like, from slide to slide. Go like this. Which one? Space? Hello. My name is Dinah Silina. I'm from Riga, Ricksee. First of all, thank you, Arjan, for organizing this mini festival. I really enjoy again being here, but with you, all of you, but especially because somehow I've never visited IMPAKT. Me, I am producer, and also recently I have become co-curator. And what is interesting, at least for me, I think all my work life is I'm being involved with Ricksee. I worked there since 2001. Ricksee was founded in 1996. First, it was like an experimental organization run by artists about electronic media, and since 2000. Since the year 2000, it is called Ricksee Center for New Media Culture. Well, this is actually this is our space. We have the basic thing. We have our festival, which takes place each year. And first it was called Art plus Communication, but then since 2015 it is called Art Science Festival. The festival takes place in different venues, but this is our permanent space now since 2 years, and Arjan was visiting, you saw it. This is our gallery space, like White Cube Gallery. But before that we had, just many, we made conferences, symposiums, and exhibitions in many other venues. What is new for us is your battery is running low. It says. No, never mind. Okay, so okay. What is new for us? Actually, residency, like a focus on residencies. This is new for us, and we are very grateful that we are involved in EMAP. Thank you, Peter. Because since we have been engaged in this residency program in EMAP, we also are also focusing on other residencies. And this year we are very also happy to host Florent in our EMAP residency. But in the venue, what are our specifics? We really want to let new emerging artists from Latvian artists, to show their work there. And we are also engaged in different kind of productions. One of them are also producing artworks. This is, you can see, is artwork by Rasa Schmidt and Raitis Schmidt, who are the core founders of Ricksee, and also artists and curators. And this is exhibition. This is work called Biotricity, and this is from MIT in the US. What else? And we also collaborate with external curators. Like, for example, this year we are having, no, not this one. We are having a festival called Ungreen, and we are collaborating with Jens Hauser. And yeah, this is how we go outside just from our inner circle. Because networking has been always one of our basic things. Also, Ricksee was actually founded in one of networking places. And last year we collaborated with ZKM in Karlsruhe. We had the exhibition, this touring exhibition, Global Control, in a different format, of course. It was hosted by us in Riga. And we are focusing on collaborations with scientists, but when we have residents, like for example, like now we have a resident from Germany, and this is my mission. I really like actually this term in French. It's like mediator, because this is how I work in Ricksee. This is during these residency programs. This is all the time I'm doing. I'm connecting. Okay, so. I'm connecting artists with scientists in university, in different state institutions. Yeah, this is my mission there. Okay.
Thanks a lot. Did the computer die on you, or?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, we'll check it. Thanks, Naina. For those of you who are planning to attend a 12 o'clock screening, it will be in this hall, so we're running a bit late, but you can see that screening if you want to, right when we're finished here. I would like to give the stage to Peter for Werkleid's presentation. Werkleid's named after a very small village in Germany. Peter will probably show a slide of that, but then not? Okay.
5 slides, you said.
Okay. And then went to the bigger city Halle, where they're based currently, organizing their biennials and workshops. Peter, please tell us all about it.
So, hello, hello again, and usually I have about 20 minutes presentation called How to Shrink a Global Village to a European Platform. I can't do that now, as Ariane asked us for 5 slides, and I didn't even have the ones to the subjects he was asking. I think the first one was organization. I thought, okay, shit, I don't have any kind of organigram or anything. But if you go to our website, and that's just a screenshot of it, you will find these major sections above there, which is already kind of explaining the sections, what we are doing. But first of all, I'm kind of co-founder of Werkleid's Media Art Center, which was based in a tiny little village, or even outside of the village of Werkleid. If you never heard about that name, you don't have to worry. It was not even on the maps when we moved there, and it's like a 300 inhabitant village, and we're living, I'm still living like 1 kilometer at the dike, so that's pure nature. We founded the center, maybe I'll go to that one, no, not that one, that one. We founded the center in 1993 after we reconstructed an old farmhouse for 2 years as the first decentralized media art center, and I called it Global Village because in 94 we started with a fixed line to the university, and therefore maybe we are one of the first global villages. But also around that time, well, the original idea, because we all came from the Art Academy in Braunschweig experimental film class, so our background was in films, and the original idea was to share production facilities with other artists and to create a media lab. Then also we said we want to work with international artists. So being in the middle of nowhere, you have a certain necessity to connect to the world and to create networks. So a part of founding Werkleid, we founded the European Media Artists in Residence Exchange in '95. We're running that until now. Out of that, we created in 2006 the European Media Art Network, and out of the network in last year, the platform devolved. So it's a quite ongoing system, but we always improve that. And the artists who are into this platform now are the most luckiest because the conditions are better than ever before. In 2004, Werkleid's Media Art Center moved to the city of Halle, so it's not based in the village anymore. I forgot actually to mention that when we started in the village, we started the first German Biennale. For 10 years it was in the village until it became kind of the Documenta of the East, was completely overrun, and our former director decided to move to Halle. That was in 2003. So since that time it is in another place. And one more thing is that since 2011 we run a professional media masterclass for mostly regional talents from Middle Germany in the sector of documentary filmmaking. In the moment we're doing a lab on documentary praxis in the net, and asked for the priorities and to choose out of the ones definitions you gave. I still would say, sure, our priorities are in film video, multi-screen video installation, but also interactive video installation, net art and others, and others means actually anything which is interesting, which has impact, which can has a potential to change the world. We are very interested in. This year we have Wouter Murrell doing a board game with us, so something we never worked with. Here's last year's Imara artist Doug Fishbone. He did an interactive kind of a kiosk installation, and that's our Avid Lab room. And the formats we use, as I mentioned before, we kind of got known through the Werkleid's Biennale, who changed to an annual festival in 2008. Then we are doing the Professional Media Masterclass for the region and the EMAP Emare, and we are probably one of the smallest organizations within the whole platform, but I think we're doing our job quite well because last month, the silver beer of the best short film went to Emare production, Manuel Abramovic, and the golden beer went to the masterclass alumnis and supported production Johannes Krell and Florian Fischer for Umbra. So kind of we're connected to the 2 beers who were awarded at the Berlinale last month, and altogether I think our production received 120 awards. So as you can see, even with small structures, you can move quite a lot. Thanks, and that's it.
Thanks, Peter. And the downside of having an organization with a name at the end of the alphabet is that you usually end up being the last ones presenting. Please welcome Dominika. She's from the WRO Art Center in Wrocław in Poland.
You can just say WRO.
WRO.
WRO Art Center.
Sorry.
Yeah.
The WRO Art Center in, and how would you pronounce Wrocław?
Wrocław.
Oh, Wrocław, okay. And actually also a place that I've been to a long time ago, like also one of the first Werkleids biennials that I visited. But I'm very curious what it is now, and we can all see that in your presentation. Please go ahead.
Maybe we can get rid of the... Oh, yeah. Hello everyone, my name is Dominika Kluszczyk. I'm a project manager of the WRO Art Center, Polish independent NGO organization working at the intersection of contemporary art, media and communication. WRO Art Center had been founded in 2008, but actually all started quite long time ago.
Dominika, there's still some unrelated content on your screen, and Bram will help you with it, I hope. There it goes.
Thank you. Yes, so let's start with 1989, when the first Sound Basis Visual Art Festival had been done by 3 very creative people from Wrocław who decided to bring contemporary and media art to Poland. It was Viola and Piotr Krajewski together with Zbigniew Kupisz. They continued organizing Media Art Biennale, and we still are doing this and preparing for our anniversary edition, which will happen actually in 2 months in May in Wrocław. It will be 19th edition of Media Art Biennale under the title Human Aspect. I will speak a bit more about the festival at the end of my presentation. It's not working. Yeah, so we've got 2 venues. First venue, WRO Art Center, it's our headquarters. It had been open in 2008. We've got there a gallery of around 200 meters square, media library and info point. Another venue located in the city center in Wrocław is WRO Atelier. It's a venue dedicated for our educational activities at the Academy of Fine Art, and it's a venue where our residents are staying. So Marco Barotti, our new EMAP artist, will be working on his project there. Speaking about mission, no matter what we are doing as a part of our annual program, exhibitions, performances, presentations, there are 2 very important points for us. The first one is art mediation. We are having our motto, which is instead of watchmen, art mediators. Actually, it's true. The whole WRO Center team acts as art mediators. We are having our shifts at the info point. We are organizing guided tours for our public, for our audiences. So we are very much into building the dialogue between our different types of audiences. Another very important part of our mission are archives. Actually, since 70s, we're collecting a lot of video archives, which are partially digitized. There are still some of them that need to be digitized, and we are having like 7,000 items. We are presenting it in a format of media library. So at the Art Center, there's a media library where we are putting those archives, video materials in a format of thematical paths. We are working as well of new interfaces to bring those archive one more time to the art world. So different kind of interactive interfaces are developed in order to make it possible. Another very important part of active art archive approach is our multimedia publications. So we are using our video documentations for presentation of, to write books about different kind of media scene. Last edition of our publication was about video installations, and what is very important is that we're using our video documentation to write about the artworks itself. So those archives are the source of the knowledge and of the critical text about different kind of media activities. Priorities. Actually, we are open to really any kind of media activity. I pointed 4 because we were asked to, but generally it can be something else like VR, net art-based installations, or many others. And last but not least, here, formats. So let's get back to 1989. The first Sound Basis Visual Art Festival had been organized. We are continuing with our 13th anniversary edition of Media Art Biennale Wro, which will happen in May. Under the title Human Aspect, we want to scan the condition of human in the context of post-technological situation we are now facing. We received more than 1,700 submissions. We decided to present around 100 projects in different kind of formats, such as installations, screenings, panel discussions, among others. I hope to see all of you in May in Wrocław. I hope you can celebrate with us our anniversary of media art. I've got flyers about the approaching edition of Media Art Biennale Wro, so we can share and speak after my presentation. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Dominica. And Dominica will be speaking again on the very last panel of this mini festival, the Sunday 4 o'clock panel called How to Make Museums Future-Proof. I could tell you just very briefly what IMPAKT is about. I would say, starting with our mission, maybe as the most important thing, is that IMPAKT tries to present art projects that show how media and technology are changing our world, to inspire people to use media and technology in more creative ways, or to consume them in more critical ways. So basically that is what IMPAKT's mission is. Our venue, well, this is not our venue. We organize our festival here. The venue where the exhibition is, that you could attend today, tomorrow, or on Sunday, is the Lange Nieuwstraat 4. And we moved in there exactly 1 year ago. It's the 1st of March, yeah. We moved there exactly a year ago, and we organized exhibitions there, panels, workshops, events, lectures. And it's now, the exhibition running now is the second exhibition that we organized outside of the festival. We've been doing the festival for 30 years, always organized exhibitions within the festival, but now we have our own center. We can also organize exhibitions all year through, and Truth That Lies is the second exhibition that is not part of the festival. A World Well, I'm mixing up things now. A World Without Us was the first exhibition that we did outside of the IMPAKT Festival. Yeah, maybe that's enough about IMPAKT. There will be a film screening here that you can attend, but there will be also a session where the selected EMAP 2019 artists will explain about their projects. As you can imagine, this is highly secretive because they are still in the making. So this is a session for the EMAP members, organizations, and the EMAP artists. Other accredited guests are welcome to go to the exhibition or to join the screening that will start here. Thanks very much.